If you run a dealership and want a 2026 ready Google Ads system that actually lowers your cost per sale and moves cars off your lot, you're in the right place. Oh, and this isn't a theory. We've already done this for hundreds of dealerships all across the nation, generating thousands of calls, walk-ins, and sold units every single month. So today I'm gonna hand you the exact playbook our best performing dealers are using right now to keep our cost per sale low and our inventory moving. So by the end, you're gonna walk away with a proven account structure you can just mirror today. The 5 campaigns most rooftops only need. The 2026 targeting, bidding, and measurement stack, a 30-minute weekly optimization guide, and benchmarks so you know if you're winning with these campaigns. Section 1, the 5 campaigns that actually sell cars. Most dealerships I know waste budget on campaigns that just get clicks, not actual customers. So here's how you're gonna flip that. The first type of campaign you wanna run is called a brand search campaign. This campaign is gonna allow you to own your name 100% of the time. It's literally gonna be the cheapest, highest converting traffic that you're going to get. The keyword specifically for this one is going to be like dealer name plus a variation. So it's gonna be like your dealership's name plus hours, something like that. The bidding around this ad is gonna be pretty simple. You're gonna do maximizing conversions. Then after a period of time, you're gonna wanna optimize and target your cost per acquisition or the sold actual units from it. And the negative keywords you can also put into this as like an option is gonna be your competitors' names or recruiting terms for your dealership trying to hire or whatever it might be. And where you're gonna wanna send people for an ad like this is different site links that you might have across your website, a call, or even directions directly to your dealership. The second type of campaign here you need to be running is a dealer geo search. I love this type of campaign because it's high intent shoppers, people that are really far down the buying funnel, like people searching for dealerships near me. And for these types of campaigns, you can do like a geo radius of like 10 to 30 miles. So the bidding for this one is pretty simple. You're always gonna start with maximizing conversions. And then once it fully optimizes, you're going to move to a target towards your cost per acquisition at that point. And benchmarks to know if is this ad actually going to be succeeding for your dealership is you're gonna need a click-through rate about 5 to 10%. And then you want a conversion rate on this of overall going to be about 3 to 5%. The third type of campaign is going to be the model offer search. This type of campaign strategy is going to target the decision-making stage, like Toyota lease specials, for example. If your dealership is a Toyota dealership and you have Toyota lease specials and people are a little bit further down the buying process and they're searching something specific like Toyota lease specials, they're more likely to convert as they are further down in the buying process. And for this type of ad, you're gonna use ad customizations, dynamic keyword insertions, and then you're also gonna have model-specific landing pages that you wanna serve the traffic to. You're gonna wanna update these monthly with the different OEM offers that you might have or offers your dealership is doing specifically. And to know if these ads are actually performing, some benchmarks that you might want to go off of are going to be a click-through rate of about 6 to 12%. And you can, if you're gonna do this on the service side of it, so you're gonna do service offers to get people in the door, you can do anywhere from 12 to about 20% overall. All right, campaign number 4 is vehicle ads, previously known as what everybody calls VLAs, but these are the Performance Max for inventory. This is how you're gonna show your live VIN numbers, your live inventory, like pricing, photos, and mileage to your customers. Just so you know, with this type of campaign, it's a little difficult to set up, and Google's really specific on the type of imagery and information you need to have on your vehicles to make sure they can be used on Google's platform. For example, you need to make sure all your photos are super clear. There's no stock imagery on any of your photos in your inventory. The next thing, every one of your vehicles has to have a clean title. You can't use any emojis or anything like that. And every one of your VDP pages has to have a clear link to it with clear call to action. So it's easy for the algorithm or the bots going through your inventory to see every one of the images and pictures and everything connected to that vehicle listing. A little pro tip here is to make sure you exclude any sold VINs and then boost aged units, because you can set up specific categories where you're boosting 60, 70, 90-day aged units and then pushing that budget to help overall churn rate on your inventory. The 5th campaign, and not least, is a demand gen campaign. What does this mean? This is a YouTube, Gmail, discovery style campaign that you should be running for your dealership. This is an awareness campaign and it's gonna re-engagement engine, meaning that it's keeping your dealership top of mind with these campaigns, trying to get as many impressions and views as possible to make sure there's awareness towards your product. Will this type of campaign generate a lot of leads? It can for sure, but it's not the main goal of it. We want to get as much awareness and eyeballs through this demand gen campaign. So YouTube is going to equal mass reach for you when you're using demand gen. Gmail is like that soft touch point where it's just in their Gmail inbox and you're going to be able to kind of retouch them or retarget them. And Discover's that like mid-funnel re-engagement. And when you combine all these systems together, it's creating like a small ecosystem where you're going to be able to stay top of mind with your name, image, and likeness of your dealership to eventually influence them to touch one of the other platforms and then submit a lead. These types of campaigns overall fuel your funnel. They're not really set up for closes and generating leads. It's like layered marketing with a full funnel impact to just eventually get people to see you long enough so you can retarget them in other ways and eventually have them submit a lead. Those are the 5 different types of campaigns your dealership are running. So in section 2 here, we're gonna talk all about targeting and bidding that actually works in 2026. So first, let's talk about geo-targeting. You should always start with somewhere around 10 to 30 miles. And then you can always exclude low converting zip codes in your guys' area to make sure you're not targeting those areas specifically, but always start with about 10 to 30 miles. Now, when it comes to audience targeting, for search, you should be using observation mode for CRM and in-market segments. If you're using Performance Max, you should seed this with your CRM list and then your website visitors that you would be retargeting back. Now, here's the overall bidding strategy. I believe you should always start with maximizing conversions, and you should use this for about 7 to 14 days. Then you should transition to target the cost per acquisition after your account has hit about 30 to 50 overall conversions. I want to make sure this is clear though. You should use seasonality and the ebbs and flows of the car business when you're doing these bids, meaning that you should know when your up seasons are and your down seasons are, summer months, winter months, back to school, all the different events that are going on so you can adjust accordingly when you're doing a bidding strategy. Awesome. Let's go into section 3 here that talks all about your creative and landing pages that actually convert. Instead of talking about it, I'm going to give you 3 examples that you can actually plug and play into your ads. The first one is the make model of the car and then deals in your city. So it's make model, deals in your city. Headline number 2 is gonna be in stock plus same day test drives. And heading number 3 that you would run with is going to be top trade values plus transparent pricing. Pro tip here is to use OEM language in your offers. The reason why is people are used to seeing it already. So use terms like literally term, APR, or even urgency. Okay, so that was the ad copy. Let's talk about your landing pages now. My biggest tip for landing pages is your speed. If your website is going to be slow and not be able to give them the instant information they're looking for, they're going to bounce and they're just gonna go to your competitors anyways. So work on your optimization speed of your website. The next tip I have is make sure your call to action is above the fold, meaning that if someone has to scroll or search around of how to actually submit a lead, a confused buyer is not a buyer at all because they are confused, they don't know how to buy, they're searching around, they're gonna get bored, they're gonna get angry, and they're gonna click away, and they'll end up on your competitor's website who is probably more optimized than yours. So your goal here is to make sure that your call to actions are easy to find. There's not 10 of them, there's max 3 call to actions on your guys' VDP pages that customers know clear and what to do, like value my trade-in, or get pre-approved, or schedule your test drive, or maybe there's a chat widget at the bottom that they can talk to a consultant. Very easy ways to actually communicate with your dealership. Don't make it hard, make it easy. The last thing is you need to add proof. People need to know the things that you're claiming are actually true. So showcase your reviews, the rewards you're doing, who you are as a family. Every single dealership, quote unquote, is gonna have the same offers out there. So in the little bit of information you can give them on a landing page, make sure that you're giving them valuable stuff that they can actually take. 1, build credibility for you, know who you are, get the information you're looking for, and easily convert by clicking on an easy call to action. Let's talk about your vehicle pages. Vehicle pages can sometimes be confusing. Make sure you always have enough photos for your customers to be able to see what they're actually looking for. If they're looking for, oh, does this have a certain type of shifter on it? Or, ooh, does it actually have Apple CarPlay? Does it have 3 rows in the back? Does it have 9 cup holders? If you're not showing that information in the photos, they're gonna just assume, oh, that car doesn't have it, and they're gonna go to the next place. Even if your car does have it, they're more likely not to scroll down and look at the core features just to see if that car has what they're looking for. So showcase that in 25 plus more photos in your VDP pages. Okay, so you know about the ads, you know about the creative, you know the bidding and targeting strategy, but how do you actually measure the results of the ads? Simple, you need to be tracking certain conversions. If you're looking at sales, you need to track the leads, the calls above 60 seconds, and all the chats happening on your website. Now, a lot of websites are gonna use iframes, so those are a little bit harder to track overall, but it's still not impossible. You still track the interactions and the key things on your website. If you're running a service campaign, you need to track bookings, calls, and the chats that are happening on the website. Overall, you should be tracking for a cost per acquisition anywhere from $5 to about $25, depending on your campaign, the structure, the size of your dealership, and multiple different variants. When these conversions are set up, you can track the success in a few different ways. If you're running a branded campaign, the results should look like a $5 cost per acquisition all the way up to about a $25 cost per acquisition. Anything that's non-branded, you can expect a $35 to about $120 cost per acquisition. Little side notes, running campaigns like this should allow you to see about a 10 to 20% increase in overall sales if you're tracking things properly in the next 60 to 90 days. Okay, that's how you track conversions. In section 5 here, we're gonna be going over the 30-minute optimization you should be doing every single week to make sure your ads can actually hit that point of seeing growth. And you should be doing this every single Monday. Now, if you want this full checklist, go check the description down below and you can see a step-by-step guide what you should be doing every single Monday, but here are the Spark Notes. For about 5 minutes on Monday when you do your overall search, you should be going over search term scans. And then for 10 minutes after that, you should be reallocating different budgets based off of what you're finding in the search term scans. The next part is you should be doing landing page checks to make sure everything is tracking properly and all the things are being hit. The next part is you should be doing creative and landing page checks. Make sure things aren't misfiring and creatives are up to speed. The last 5 minutes you should spend on a sales feedback loop to make sure that, hey, the campaigns that we're tracking, the sales that we're getting are actually ending up as sales at the dealership, meaning you're getting more walk-ins, call-ins, and bookings from your website to actually generate more sales. If you do this 30-minute growth optimization plan every single week, you can see different indicators that allow you to start seeing growth in your actual ad campaigns that lead to more sales. For example, a 10 to 30% on lost impression share is actually really healthy. Anything above 30% though, you should be tracking to fix keywords or increasing your budget overall. Now, before you go and optimize all your campaigns, there's one thing I need to tell you. Do not, and I repeat, do not increase budget for branded or competitor campaigns. The reason why is those are your cheapest overall. If you keep increasing those, you're just going to compete against yourself and overall just increase pricing. So this is an overview of how you can set up your ads in 2026. But to make sure you're successful, I've written out some benchmarks, the cheat sheet, so you can be successful with these campaigns. Your brand cost per acquisition should be anywhere from $5 to about $25. Your non-branded cost per acquisition should be $35 to $100. Your service cost per acquisition should be $15 to about $60. And your VDP view to lead rate should be anywhere from 1.5 to 3.5%. And your call answer rate should be greater than 85%. If you use all these strategies we talked about in this overview today and use these benchmarks to optimize your ads, you should start seeing growth in the next 60 to 90 days. So with that being said, just keep it simple. Own your brand, dominate your local intent, let your VLA/vehicle ads and demand gen harvest overall demand, and then prove it all with the metrics that you're going to set up on the back end. If you want a strategy that you know that can sell more cars and want us to build this for you, just book a call with our team and we will help you out. But on top of this, if you want more detailed videos around this topic, make sure you just follow DealerSmart for more amazing content just like this.